So good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us. We know it's September, everybody's back to work. It seems super busy. Everybody's thinking about their October breaks, their Easter breaks, and things like that. So we really appreciate you joining us live. Of course, this session is recorded as always. So if you have any colleagues who had the best of intentions of joining us and who maybe have just got caught with a customer or they just couldn't join us live for whatever reason, then they will have the chance to watch this back. So as you know, this week is ITTN's very first RivFest, which we are super excited about. We're joined today by the wonderful Christopher McCloskey. Do you want to say a quick hello to everybody?
Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it.
We really appreciate you guys being here. So as you know, or as we hope you know, RivFest is a week dedicated to Riviera Travel and absolutely everything that these guys have to offer. They have such a big portfolio, everything from river cruises to touring, and we are going to be looking at everything in a lot more depth throughout the week. Today, we're going to have a little Q&A between Chris and myself, but of course, we have lots more content coming up. So you may have seen yesterday, we had the Meet the Team where you got a chance to meet Chris, Stephen, and Roxy from the Riviera Travel team, heard a little bit about them and what they like to do on their own holidays. Tomorrow, we're going to be meeting some of the fleet. So Chris has very kindly recorded a fantastic presentation where he talks a little bit about all of the different fleet, the ships that they have, especially around Europe. And then on Thursday, we're going to be looking a little bit more in depth at the touring products that Chris has. And we're going to talk about them a little bit today as well. And lastly, on Friday, we're going to have some agent testimonials from some of our fantastic agents, some very familiar faces. I think they might be joining us today. So they will hopefully jump on. And if you have any questions, maybe they can answer them. But we've got a great session lined up for you guys on Friday. And of course, Friday is the start of the competition. So we are very excited to be bringing you a dedicated ITTN fan where we've got 8 places up for grabs. And all you guys have to do at the end of the week, and you will have a chance to catch up on everything. Don't worry if you miss anything. You have to answer a few simple questions based on the content that we have posted throughout the week. And you'll be in with a chance of winning a fam trip, or a place on a fam trip, I should say. So I'm going to admit a few more people here to the meeting. And look, we're going to get started. So guys, we're going to try and keep this as short as we can. We've got a few questions prepared for Chris, but as always, at the end of the session, we will open up the floor for a Q&A. So if there's anything that I've missed and you guys really want to ask those questions, now is your chance to do it, or I should say at the end of the session is your chance to do it. Chris is going to stay on, so we won't keep you for too long. We know you're super busy. So Chris, let's jump right into it. A lot of people are very familiar with the Riviera Travel product and what you guys offer, but just in case there's anybody new to selling Riviera Travel or they're new to the industry, can you maybe just give us a little overview of Riviera Travel and the types of holidays that you guys offer?
Yeah, of course. Well, Riviera Travel is a household name in Ireland, and we are known for creating unforgettable travel experiences. If you don't know anything about us, you might have heard a little bit about us at least. We're probably more commonly known for our award-winning river cruises across Europe's iconic waterways. But the other side of our business, alongside the river cruise, is our escorted touring holidays. At the moment, they currently cover mainland Europe, and we've got big plans to expand in Ireland to more long-haul destinations in the near future.
Oh, that's brilliant. I love to hear that. So we're going to come back to the touring stuff in a little bit. So looking at your river cruise product first. So we're very lucky. There's a lot of new river cruise operators seem to be coming into the Irish market, especially over the last few months. So a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people will know you guys already. You are a household name within Ireland, and a lot of the agents will know you. But maybe just in case anybody isn't too familiar, because there's so many new operators, can you tell us maybe what makes Riviera different? What makes you stand out against maybe some of your competitors?
Well, yeah, like you say, it does feel like there's new players coming into the river cruise market, near enough every single year. But with Riviera, we do continue to stand out for our established reputation, our exceptional service, not only for our guests, but for our travel agent partners. We are the river cruise company that's designed for the UK and Irish market. A lot of the other players out there, they are maybe designed for the German market, and the UK Irish trade kind of just slips in. Literally everything that we do is with the UK and Irish market in mind. We do include more than anyone else in the cost of the holiday. Just to name a few, flights and transfers are always included, your tours and then your excursions, a superior drinks package for all river cruises, your Wi-Fi is included, and even the finer details like having tea and coffee in the cabin, I should say it's Nespresso in the cabin, not just coffee.
Yep.
And of course, all of our trade partners, we do have complete price parity. So it's one price on sale across all channels for each holiday.
Well, that's really good. We love to hear that. I think you've answered a few of my questions there in that, but anyways, I'm going to go through them again just to reiterate the points, I suppose. So you've mentioned there, flights are included. So you guys are able to package up with flights. Presume that's from Irish airports. Which airports maybe can customers fly out of in Ireland?
Of course. So if you're booking the holiday in euros, you can choose from Belfast, you can choose from Dublin, or any UK airports that we offer from if your client just happens to be in the UK for whatever reason. We are handling all the different arrangements to ensure a seamless travel experience from departure to return. At the moment, we are looking at expanding the airports offered to the Irish market to include more regional airports such as Shannon and Cork. So that is a work in progress at the minute.
Oh, that's great to hear. Well, look, I mean, I think just even the fact that you guys have the flights on offer and that the agents are able to package up everything with you guys, I think that's such a big USP for you as well. So I absolutely love to hear that, and I'm sure all the agents joining us today will be delighted to hear that as well. So like I said, you've covered a lot of the questions already, but that's okay. Let's have a little bit of a look maybe at the Riviera Travel River Cruise customer. So what kind of demographic? I mean, I think everybody has like this idea that it is for a slightly older age profile, but maybe you can just tell us, what that customer profile looks like.
Yeah, of course. So River Cruise traditionally would attract the older clientele, or everybody has the impression that River Cruise is just for the older customer. But our River Cruises typically do attract any age range of traveller seeking like a luxurious and culturally rich experience. This doesn't include the 50+ market, just because they do have the time to go on multiple holidays per year. Maybe the kids have left the house. They appreciate a little bit more comfort, fine dining, and getting the chance to explore maybe smaller, lesser known destinations and ports. You'll also then have couples or small groups who'll enjoy the personalised service, relaxed atmosphere, and then really just anyone of any age who appreciates culture, history, and the scenic beauty. To be honest, when it comes to like naming the demographic, it is really a difficult question to answer because it does change from each holiday, each cruise that we offer. And to be honest with you, right across the entire river cruise industry, the average age each year is slowly coming down as well.
That's great to hear. And I mean, I've been so lucky that I was able to experience a beautiful Riviera Travel ship when I was lucky enough to join you on your 40th birthday celebrations in Paris, which was absolutely incredible. And while we were docked for the 2 nights that we were there, we did sail a little bit down the Seine towards the Eiffel Tower, which was lovely. But I have to say, I really love the idea. And even for somebody who's, late 30s like myself, I love the idea of just waking up somewhere different every morning. And, it's a small vessel, but there's so much going on and it doesn't feel small. I think we'll kind of touch on that in the agent testimonials that we're going to be showing you guys on Friday, but it doesn't feel small. So I mean, I'm glad to hear that the age profile is coming down because I mean, I would be very keen to do another river cruise with my partner because I just think it's such a nice way of travel. It's so slow. It's just absolutely incredible. So I love to hear that. Let's, Irish people can be budget conscious sometimes. So what kind of a budget would customers need to kind of factor in maybe to do a Riviera river cruise?
Well, I'm Scottish. I think we practically invented being budget conscious. But with Riviera, your clients really do get bang for the buck. We offer incredible value for money with near enough everything included. Generally, you would expect a premium experience starting from around about €2,500 per person. Now, always do break that price down, emphasize what's included, and also even break it down even further to the cost per day. It really, really does help, especially if you're talking to maybe one of your clients that normally does ocean cruises and you're trying to switch sell them over to river. If you break it down, give them the inclusion because effectively they always budget for that onboard bill that they're going to have to pay at the end of it. You typically don't have that on river.
Yeah, so that's really important. I think, like you just said, make sure that when it's not just the price they're looking at because it includes so much more. So that leads me nicely on to the next question. So what does that include? It's all of the food, right? All of the excursions, pretty much everything, maybe minus the drinks.
Oh, absolutely. So with the food, if you can eat it on board, it's included in the cost of the holiday. That's the easiest way to put it. Obviously, all your accommodations are included on board. Your delicious meals, so that would be your breakfast, lunch, dinner, any afternoon snacks, afternoon tea, all made with local ingredients for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. A selection of excursions are included in each port of call. Your onboard entertainment and any activities. Obviously, you've got the services of a well-experienced Riviera cruise director and local guides. And yes, it does include the superior drinks package as well.
Ooh, that's very nice. We like that. So what is that kind of more premium drinks and things like that on offer?
That's right. So, on in terms of the superior drinks package, you're going to have from lunchtime beer and wine, will be included with your lunch right the way through, and then from 6 p.m. the full bar kicks in, such as cocktails, spirits, alcohol of the day, etc. And a little bit of insider knowledge for you, because when we started to include the drinks package, we weren't too sure what the cost impact was going to be to the business. So that's why it was staggered, like lunch, beer and wine, and then the full package kicks in from 6 o'clock. From 2026, which is going to be going on sale in a couple of weeks, obviously because the brochures have all been printed, the drinks package is going to start at 9 o'clock, and it's just a full open bar to make it easy for everyone.
That's amazing. I love that. So at the moment, you can go out, you can do your excursion when you're at port, then you can come back and you can have a lovely gin and tonic or a glass of
Absolutely.
wine, whatever. I just love that. It just sounds ideal. Sign me up. So I think, like you said, you're Scottish and Irish and Scottish are so, so similar. So this question is probably not going to surprise you, but food is so important to us. We love our food. And you've briefly touched on what to kind of expect there. Can you
Yeah.
maybe tell us a little bit more about the dining onboard experience? Because having personally been on one of the cruises, like I said, in Paris for the 40th birthday celebrations, I was blown away by the food, and the cruise directors just went above and beyond to make sure that I was able to try everything, because I'm not fussy, but I don't eat meat, but I do eat fish. And he made sure that I was able to try that lobster tail, and it was divine. So I can only say great things about the food on board Riviera Travel, but maybe you can tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah, I would say exactly the same. I recently got back from a farm trip on the Rhine, and the food was incredible, considering how the size of the galley and how many different dietary requirements have been on board. Like how they pull it out of the bag is incredible. You'll have a main dining room on board, which will be open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Breakfast being the most important meal of the day, it's got over 60 different options to choose from.
Lovely.
Lunch service, it will have a buffet will be set up in the main dining room, but you can also order a la carte, and you've also got our specialty restaurant as well, which is opened for lunch, which of course, as you would expect, is included in the cost of the holiday. And then when you come back on board at the end of the day, you can sit down to a carefully crafted four-course a la carte dinner. And one thing that I loved about the dinner service, regardless of where you were visiting or the port or the destination that you were in, there was always a dish that was locally inspired. So something maybe you might not have heard of before, something you haven't tried before, just to immerse you a little bit more in that experience. And if you didn't want to have dinner in the dining room every single night as well, you do have our specialty dining venue on the back of the ship up on the upper deck, deck number 3. That is included in the cost of the holiday. You just have to book it on board, and the food up there is to die for.
Oh, amazing. Star, you're making me hungry already. I haven't had breakfast, so it was honestly, the food was absolutely phenomenal. And again, it's a reoccurring theme that comes up in our agent testimonials as well, is that the food
Yeah.
is top notch. So stay tuned for that. So Chris, what are some of the top selling river cruise itineraries that you currently have that are being booked by the Irish market?
Absolutely. Oh, and just I should touch on while we're talking about food there.
Mm.
If your client does have any dietary requirements, anything whatsoever, we can cater for them all. The only one we can't do is halal, because it requires a separate galley. But if they're lactose intolerant, don't eat fish, don't eat wheat, don't eat dairy, whatever, and we can cater for it all. Just let us know at the point of booking. Sorry, I should have mentioned that.
No, that's good to know. Thank you very much for telling us.
And in terms of our top selling river cruise from the Irish market, our top selling cruise, not only for us, but probably for every river cruise operator out there, is the anything on the Danube. And our cruise on the Danube is called the Blue Danube, purely because of its history, its vibrant culture of Central Europe. That'll start off in Budapest, it visits Vienna. This is normally the go-to river for anyone researching their first river cruise.
Mm.
But that being said, the Rhine is slowly creeping up there because of its fairy tale like castles, the scenery, and it's a wee bit more slower pace than what you would get on the Danube, and there's less ships there as well. So when you get into those ports, it does feel a little bit more exclusive. That's definitely what I experienced on the Rhine anyway.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, probably doesn't come as a surprise to anybody, but we wanted to ask the question just in case there is anybody that's brand new to selling river cruising, because it is becoming a much more sought after type of a holiday. So
Yeah.
just in case they didn't know, and there's lots of fantastic rivers around Europe, especially, and I'm sure all of them are just equally as beautiful. So, right, okay, I think we've talked about the river cruise side of things a little bit now. Guys, there will be, I know a lot of you've joined kind of midway through the session there. So if you have any questions, maybe something that I might have missed, then you will have the chance to ask those at the end. So don't worry. But I'd like to just move over to your touring product, if that's okay. And admittedly, I don't know quite as much about the touring side of Riviera Travel. So I'm looking forward to hearing a little bit more about this. In a nutshell, I suppose, can you give us an overview of the types of tours you offer, where you operate them, and maybe group sizes as well?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, at Riviera, we are known for our river cruises, but believe it or not, when we actually first started as a company 40 years ago, it was the escorted touring that we started off with. So this really is our bread and butter. For the Irish market, we've got 7 amazing escorted tours currently operating across the mainland Europe. Like I said, we have got plans to expand this to include more European destinations and worldwide tours. And we operate the tours directly from Dublin Airport to the likes of Italy, Spain, Greece, and Croatia. Our top selling tour from Ireland has to be Classical Spain. And on our tours from 2025, you can expect a maximum of about 36 people in the tour group. We recently lowered this to give a more intimate experience when we start off the 2025 season.
Fantastic. That's great to hear. I love that. And the touring customer then, the touring customer profile, I should say, would that be quite similar to your river cruise customers? Like, do you have a lot of customers that are repeat and very brand loyal, and they might maybe one year do a touring itinerary and then the next year they'll do a river cruise, or if they're lucky, maybe do both in the same year? Or does that river cruise, or sorry, does that land cruise, the touring, oh, I'm sorry, getting my name words mixed up here. Does the touring customer, do they look a little bit different to the river cruise?
Well, there is obviously going to be some overlap between our river cruise customers and our touring clientele. However, the touring side of things, it can attract a slightly younger demographic, maybe looking at a wee bit more of an active holiday style.
Hmm.
You know, a lot of customers are very, very loyal to the Riviera Travel brand. Maybe they'll do a river cruise at the start of the year, a touring in the middle, or vice versa. But we do have a very, very loyal customer base. If you were to book a customer on board one of our holidays, we've got a return rate over 90%. So 90% of all people who book a holiday with us travel again with us within 12 months of returning home.
Oh,
It's a phenomenal return rate that we've got.
we love that. We love to hear that. So there you go, guys. You book your customers on a Riviera Travel tour, and then you'll be getting them back year after year after year. So we love to hear that. So probably a lot of people that are joining us today or watching this webinar back will know that I'm a pretty big advocate for sustainable travel. And I know that you guys have responsible travel policies in place. Could you tell us a little bit more about those, please?
Oh, of course. We'll start off with the biggest one, the ships. We do invest in modern, fuel-efficient ships that minimise emissions when they're in use. And whenever we're docked in any port of call in Europe, anywhere the river ship can stop, we do always aim to use shore power, so we can turn off the engines and use power. So it completely turns it into like a zero-emission ship when it's docked. We also audit all of the hotel partners that we contract with to make sure that they themselves are taking the appropriate steps to cut down emissions at a local level in terms of like even it goes into in crazy detail like their laundry policies, the towel policies, the key card, stuff like that. And on board our ships, we've eliminated the use of single-use plastic bottles. So when you get on board for the river cruise side of things, you'll have a stainless steel reusable bottle inside the cabin, fill that from the bar or the water stations around the ship, and it's yours to keep, take ashore, and take home at the end of the cruise.
I love that. I love to hear that. And I also loved when you mentioned earlier about the types of the dining experiences that you have, and when you said you will always kind of have a local dish as well. I think that's absolutely fantastic, and I'm sure you're using
Yeah.
products and things like that. So that's absolutely amazing. So we've got a few questions coming in. So we're going to get to those at the end. I've got another couple of questions though, if that's okay. So
Yeah, of course.
just in terms of the booking experience for the agents, I know that you guys have a relatively small sales team, which is great because I think you get that real personalized service then. Can you maybe talk us through the booking process and I suppose what the best way to book is, because you've got an agent portal, but they can also call the sales team, I guess, right?
Absolutely. So there's two different ways you can book. Like you said, you can book directly on the website, rivieratravel.ie, top right-hand side, just click on travel agent login. If you don't have a travel agent login, drop us an email, we'll get one set up for your agency. Once you're comfortable, I highly encourage you to use that because it's super, super quick and straightforward. If I was to give you training on booking it online, it would be insulting because it's literally like using Amazon. You pick the holiday, put in the names, put in your name, and click book. It is super, super straightforward. However, if you are new to River or if your clients are asking questions at the same time, or you simply just want someone to do it for you, pick up the phone and give us a call. We've got our dedicated trade sales team. They are based in England and they are incredible. It's only 6 people. They look after the entire booking journey exclusively for trade in Ireland, from booking, any amendments, any questions that come up. So you will build up that relationship with them. And the best thing about them, the average wait time, if you do get a wait time, is roughly about 40 seconds. So your call will get answered if you do call in.
That's amazing. Oh, we love to hear that. I absolutely, I love hearing that. And you guys have a very active Irish agent Facebook group as well, Chris. And I think you're very good and very consistent for putting offers and things like that in there. What else? What other kind of content can agents expect to see there? And guys, if you haven't already joined it, make sure you go and join it straight away because it is brilliant.
Well, the whole thing about our job is to make it easier for you guys, because at the end of the day, we don't want to be a difficult supplier to deal with. And one of the ways that we can do that is through that Facebook group. So we're all about making it easier for you. We'll post ready to go offers that can literally be copied and pasted to your own social media pages. They'll have pricing in there, they'll have dates in there, basically anything on that Facebook page, including all the pictures you can use. We've got all the copyright for them, so you're more than welcome to use anything that's on there. And we'll also keep you up to date on all things Riviera with like your incentive, any product launches, and really anything that comes across that we think will help you sell that next holiday.
Fantastic. And I know it's a lot of work to keep a Facebook group like that going and keep agents engaged and active. But guys, honestly, I joined it a while back and it's absolutely brilliant just to see the types of content that are being posted in there, and it'll be a fantastic resource for you. So thank you very much, Chris. Really appreciate you taking the time to join us this morning.